Good morning, everyone. The complaint or the inquiry into the complaint by Judge President Musi against Judge Lekale, which was adjourned yesterday afternoon for its continuation this morning, resumes. For the record, shall we then confirm appearances? Yes, Advocate Close.
Thank you, President. I confirm that the appearances today on the 23rd of July is as before, with you being the President of the Judicial Conduct Tribunal. The other member of the Tribunal is Judge Ice Kuman, the non-judicial member, Advocate Moncho Molo Sane AC, with me, Advocate Emplos, as the evidence leader, and the respondent, Judge Lekale, is also present.
Yes. Thank you, Advocate Close. Judge Lekale, for the record, will you confirm your attendance?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I confirm my attendance. I'm in attendance. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Lekale. As I have already indicated, the matter was adjourned yesterday afternoon after you had indicated that you wanted an adjournment until this morning for you to testify. And that moment has now arrived. For the record, will you please state your full names?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The name is Lepono Joshua Lekale.
Thank you, Judge Lekale. Having read your sworn affidavit, I take it that you have no objection to take the prescribed oath.
Yes, indeed, I have no objection to taking the prescribed oath.
For the record, then, will you confirm that the evidence that you are about to give will be the truth and the whole truth and nothing else? And if you do, then say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you, Judge Lekale. You may then proceed to present your evidence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In 2018, I fell ill and I eventually landed in hospital in Welkom. I proceeded then to receive treatment. Eventually, my right leg was amputated. I remained in hospital until 2019, towards the end thereof, when I was eventually discharged from hospital. I went home and eventually received further treatment, which resulted in my toes being cut. That is now the right toes, the left toes of my leg. After my right leg was amputated,
Could you share with us what the name of the hospital in Velcom to which you were admitted?
no, not in Velcom, I was not hospitated. I was admitted at the Ernest Oppenheimer. It is called the Oryx Mine Hospital, I think, in Velcom, where I was admitted and treated.
Oryx.
Yes, I think it's Oryx.
And that's where you underwent the medical procedure,
Yes,
which culminated in your right leg being amputated.
yes.
Just bear with me for a moment.
Am I correct that initially your left leg was amputated below the knee and thereafter your right foot's toes were amputated?
Yes, my left toes.
Could we get this clear, Judge Lekale? Is it your right leg below the knee that was amputated
Yes,
first,
yes,
and then later the toes of your left foot were amputated?
indeed.
Thank you. And where was this, the second medical procedure carried out?
In Kronstadt.
And what is the name of the institution where this procedure was performed?
In Kronstadt, it was the name of the hospital. Really, I cannot recall the name of the hospital, but it's a provincial hospital in Kronstadt.
Yes. Thank you.
Judge Lekale, do you remember when your uh, toes, the left toes, foot toes were amputated?
Do I remember?
The date.
Pardon?
Do you remember when? I refer to the date. When were they amputated?
When or where?
When? The
When?
time, yes.
Yes, I will try to remember. Basically, it was during 2020, I think. 2019. It was in 2019.
Remember your evidence, Judge Lekale, is that you were discharged towards the end of 2019 from the Oryx Hospital in Velkom. And later on, that's when your left foot toes were amputated. So was it about a year or 2 years thereafter, after the amputation below the right leg amputation below the knee?
I cannot recall, but I was admitted at a hospital in Kroonstad, and immediately thereafter, when I was discharged, I went back to the hospital in Velkom and continued the treatment there at the hospital. It is not as if after I was discharged from hospital in Kroonstad, I went straight home and remained at home. No, I went back to the hospital.
Thank you.
Judge Lekale, it seems from the medical reports, page 162, that you were readmitted on 2nd of January 2019 with a septic left foot, and on the 28th of June 2019, there was a partial forefoot amputation. Could those dates be correct?
Yes, it could be correct.
Thank you.
Yes, you may continue, Judge Lekale.
Yes, indeed. And when I was at the hospital, I was discharged eventually and went home. And from home, I sought treatment from the doctor and eventually went to consult traditional doctors who eventually saw that I did not need to consult them any longer. The traditional doctors saw that I needed treatment and eventually saw that I would lose eyesight and eventually I did lose eyesight.
So, were you advised by the traditional doctors that you would later lose eyesight?
What was the question?
Were you advised by the traditional doctors that you would later lose eyesight?
Yes, indeed, I was advised by them.
And do I then understand you to be saying that you were not visually impaired before you took a decision to consult traditional doctors.
Yes,
Thank you.
the doctor,
And I take it that you consulted the traditional doctors after you had been discharged from the provincial hospital in Kronstadt,
yes, indeed.
which is where the amputation of the left toes was performed.
Yes.
Thank you. You may proceed.
I remained at home consulting traditional doctors as time went on. They eventually lost sight, and at the time when I lost sight, I decided to consult fully with them and used my transport to go to them, to go all over where the doctors could be found. My wife was assisting me.
When you lost sight, was it in respect of both eyes all at the same time?
Yes, indeed, it happened at once at the same time.
Thank you. Was there anything of significance that transpired pursuant to your visits to the various traditional doctors that you consulted?
No, nothing significant transpired at the time.
Yes. Are you still able to recall the year during which this all happened?
I cannot really give the exact date when it all happened because it affected me so badly that I wouldn't recall the exact days when it all happened.
I accept that it would be difficult for you to recall the precise dates. All what I want to find out from you, at least the year, if you can recall, when you consulted these traditional doctors, wherever you could find them, as you said.
Yes, I would really try to think and decide on the years when it all happened because it happened at a time when the COVID 19 was really hitting at the time. It was during,
That would have been during 2020.
yes,
Yes. What advice and or treatment, if any, did you receive from the traditional doctors that you consulted?
yeah, I received the advice to the effect that it would eventually go away and I'll become okay.
Was there any indication by when that might happen? That is you regaining your sight.
To be honest, it was never clear, but I expect even now I can expect that I would become okay because about 2 weeks back I received a message to the effect that it would go away and I would become okay. Even today, when I testify, I'll be okay.
So, do I understand you to be saying that as a result of your consultation with the traditional doctors, your expectation is that your sight can come back any day or any hour? It could be today, it could be 5 years down the line, could be 10 years down the line.
Yes, but the way I understand it, it can happen anytime soon. It would not be years and years to come.
Yes.
Judge Lekale, was that also your understanding when you were first informed that your sight will recover just after you lost sight, that it will happen soon?
What was the question again?
When you were first told that your sight will recover after you first visited the traditional healers, did you also understand that it will happen soon?
Yes, my understanding was that it would happen soon.
Thank you.
Can you still recall the year during which you became visually impaired or lost eyesight? Was it 2019 or 2020? If you can still recall.
It was towards the end of 2019.
Thank you.
Judge Lekale, I see the medical certificate on page 162 from Dr. Mafana. He wrote that you already had poor vision, which was being attended to by the ophthalmologist, and this was the 1st of April 2019. Do you have any, were you already losing your sight by then?
By when?
The first, no, the second, start at page 162. That's the medical certificate, the first medical certificate that mentions that you had poor vision, which was being attended to. And then again, yes, it's on page 162. You can just focus on that. My question is, were you already losing your vision by the 2nd of January 2019? Were you already experiencing some form of visual impairment actually the date on which the certificate is written says 1/04/2019, and the readmission date was on the 2nd of January 2019.
Yeah. Would you please repeat your question so
The
that
question-
I can understand it clearly?
Yes, the question is, were you already losing your vision or having some form of visual impairment, as on this date, the 1st of April 2019, when Dr. Mafana wrote this certificate.
Yes, I was using it already.
Thank you, Judge
Thank-
Lekale.
I just want to test the theory of the traditional healers, as you have told, who you say advise you that was in 2020, that you would regain your sight sooner than later. That was 2020. And a period of almost 6 years has elapsed and nothing has happened. Do you perhaps want to comment on that?
Yes, I find it very confusing that it was said that I would recover soon, but here I am, I'm still struggling now.
So we can accept that what you were told that you would regain your sight soon has, after 6 years, still not materialized.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. Do you wish to continue with your evidence?
Basically, there is nothing more to say, save to point out that I'm still waiting. Here I am.
Are you in fact telling us that that is the belief that you genuinely hold, that at some point you'll regain your eyesight?
Yes, indeed.
Is there anything else that you want to say in relation to a series of medical certificates which were issued routinely from time to time by various doctors, on the basis of which you were granted sick leave, resulting in you not being able to perform judicial functions?
I really do not have anything to say, save to point out that even this morning, the doctor phoned me to say that he has gathered from the radio that my matter is being handled now. He wanted to know if he was going to be called to testify. And then I said, no, I do not think he'll be called to testify.
Which doctor is that, Doctor?
That is Dr. Makala.
Thank you.
the one who issued a number of letters pointing out that I'll be coming back soon. He phoned me this morning. Then I learned that at least some of the people outside there are following up on what is happening here today.
And so far as you are concerned, you have no intention of calling him to come and testify in this inquiry.
No, I do not have any intention of calling him to come and testify.
Thank you.
Judge Lekale, did Dr. Makala, according to his medical certificate, he stated that you were permanently blind. Did he explain that to you?
That I was permanently, that's what he explains to me. He said when he sees, according to his medical explanation, it appears that I'm permanently blind.
And he explained that to you.
Yes, he did point that out to me.
Thank you.
And you accept that according to him, and perhaps even the ophthalmologist that you consulted, as far as Western medicine is concerned, clinically, you are permanently blind.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. Judge Lekale, am inviting you to comment on what I'm about to convey to you now, because in terms of the correspondence from the Chief Justice establishing this tribunal, we are called upon to consider whether you are guilty of gross misconduct, gross incompetence, and or incapacity as contemplated in section 177 of the Constitution. Would you like to say something in relation whether you or there is a basis or not to find you guilty of gross misconduct or gross incompetence or incapacity under section 177 of the Constitution?
My condition as it is now, it appears to border on incapacity, in that I was capable of doing work. I eventually was not capable of doing so after some time because of my illness.
Do I then understand you to be, in effect, saying that there is no evidence of gross misconduct or gross incompetence on your part?
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. Advocate Bose, any questions for Judge Lekale?
Thank you, President. I do have a few questions.
Judge Lekale, Advocate Bose, who is the evidence leader, has some questions that she would like to put to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Advocate Bose.
Morning, Judge Lekale.
Morning.
Judge Lekale, do you confirm that you were appointed as a permanent judge of the Free State High Court on the 1st of January 2012. You don't dispute that, right?
Yes, I did not, I could not hear you clearly. Would you please repeat the question?
I say I'm asking you, you do not, if you look at the papers, you do not dispute that you were appointed as a permanent judge of the Free State High Court in January 2012.
I do not feel what?
That you accept that you are appointed a judge and your headquarters is Bloemfontein in the Free State High Court with effect from the 1st of January 2012. That's the essence of the question.
That basically, I do not get it clearly.
You
What?
are appointed as a judge effective from the 1st of January 2012.
Yes,
Thank you.
And you were medically booked off since the 6th of June 2018. Is that correct?
so
According to the medical records, you were booked off from the 6th of June 2018. You do not dispute that, Judge, to understand that to be correct.
yes,
And since that date, in June 2018, you have not returned to perform any judicial duties. Am I correct?
yes,
In other words, you haven't presided over matters, you haven't delivered judgments, and performed any recess duty or any judicial work since being booked off on the 6th of June 2018. Is that correct?
yes, it appears so.
So, in essence, you haven't performed any judicial duties for 8 years and 1 month.
It appears to be so.
Judge Lekale, since 2018, you confirm that your medical certificates have repeatedly recorded that you're unfit for duty and that your anticipated return to duty date was extended with further certificates.
Although I do not understand the question correctly, would you please repeat the question?
Sure, Judge, I'll repeat the question. Since 2018, your medical certificates have repeatedly stated anticipated return to duty date, but was then every time extended by further certificates. Do you confirm that?
Yes, I confirm.
And despite the repeated indications that you would return for duty, you did not return, or you could not return because of your condition. Am I correct?
Yes,
If you look at the time period, you agree with me, objectively speaking, that your absence has been continuous and prolonged? Because it's been 8 years and 1 month.
yes,
If we look at the medical certificates, and we've gone through them in detail yesterday, your medical certificates refer to poor vision, very poor vision, blindness, and legal blindness. You confirm that, those diagnoses. Am I correct?
Yes, it reflects that.
And before the certificates focused on the eye-related condition, the earlier medical documentation included the amputation and of the right leg and the toes and so forth. So before your eye-related condition, you had other conditions too relating to your amputation. You confirm that?
Yes,
Judge Lekale, do you also confirm that you have not submitted any medical report changing the finding in the medical report dated the 5th of July 2024? And just to refresh your memory, the 5th of July 2024 is one state that you were at the end stage and that you're legally blind and it was permanent. You haven't submitted any report later that this condition has changed. Am I correct?
yes, I haven't submitted any medical certificate indicating otherwise.
So there's no sustained improvement enabling you to return to judicial work. Am I correct?
Yes,
I just briefly want to ask you about the patterns reflected in those certificates. When Judge President Musi testified, there seemed to be a pattern in terms of and resume dates you going before the time back. For instance, there's an undertaking that you would start on New Year's Day, and there were instances that you went a month before the time or just before Christmas. Would you like to comment on the pattern that Judge Musi testified about?
no,
He specifically also mentioned that there were often certificates that were in recess and then it was changed. Do you want to still not comment on that? Or do you want to say anything about the pattern he testified about?
I really have nothing else to say to that.
Now, in respect of your consultation with the traditional healer,
His testimony is that they were a traditional healers, not just one.
I will correct that, Judge. You consulted with traditional healers, am I correct?
Would you please repeat the question again?
You stated earlier on, and it's also in the papers, that you consulted with traditional healers.
Yes, I did consult with traditional healers.
Now, the first medical certificate that expressly notes poor vision was on the 1st of April 2019. It's HH162 in the bundle. I just want to clarify whether or not you consulted during that time also with a traditional healer in 2019 already.
Yes,
So the first time you consulted with a traditional healer was in 2019.
Yes, I did consult with the traditional healer in 2019.
And when you consulted with a traditional healer in 2019, was it also stated that you will regain or your vision will improve?
Yes, the diagnosis was that I would improve immediately after making a traditional celebration.
So just to clarify, when you consulted with a traditional healer in 2019, you were advised already that your sight will improve and you'll be able to see.
Yes,
So when you said earlier on in 2020, it was actually 2019 that you were first told by a traditional healer.
I understood him to be saying that when he first consulted traditional healers, he hadn't lost his sight yet.
Thank you, Chairperson. Who are the traditional healers that you consulted and where are they based?
who consulted the traditional healers?
No. Who are the traditional healers that you consulted and where are they based?
No, I learned from my friend that the traditional healer was the best.
Judge Lekale, I'm going to repeat the question. Who were the healers that traditional healers, who are the traditional healers that you consulted with?
Who ordered them?
The essence of the question by Advocate Bose, she needs the identity of the traditional healers that you consulted.
Do you want the names of the traditional healers?
Yes, that would help us. That is in essence the question.
Or you wanted the names of the traditional healers?
Yes, Judge.
Basically, I don't usually give names of the traditional healers. I do not know if I should give you the names of the traditional healers.
So you elect not to give the names of the traditional healers, if
Yeah,
I understand you correctly.
I don't usually give the names of the traditional. It's the first time that I hear someone ask me the names of the traditional healers or ask for the names of the traditional healers from anyone.
Judge Lekale, I just want to confirm that you elect not to disclose the names of the traditional healers.
Pardon?
You elect not to disclose the names of the traditional healers.
I elect not to disclose. No, I can disclose the names, but it's not usual that someone asks me for the names of the traditional healers. But I can give you the names if you do require the names. You want to consult them or something.
Do you want to provide the tribunal with the names of those traditional healers then, or you prefer not to mention their names?
No, I can give the names of the traditional healers, and that will be it.
Thank you. If you could then do so.
The names of the traditional healer is Matlakala,
Judge Lekale, that's only one name. We know that you consulted, according to your affidavit, with more than one.
according to my affidavit. No, it's Matlakala, the name of the traditional healer that I know, that I consulted.
So is it your evidence you only consulted with one traditional healer?
No, I know I consulted also someone else in Mpumalanga.
Can you still recall who that person was?
Yes, I can recall the name of the person that I consulted in Mpumalanga.
Yes.
Yes,
Are you,
If you could then provide us
with the
with the
name.
name.
The
Thank
name.
you.
It's Mr. Ramaisa. Ramaisa.
I didn't get the name.
It's Ramaisa.
Ramaisa.
Yes,
Thank you.
Ramaisa.
if I understand you correctly, Mr. Rama Isa is in Mpumalanga, but the first name you mentioned, where is that person based?
Oh, I said Mr. Ramaisa. The first one was Matakala.
Where is that one based, that traditional healer?
Pardon?
Where is that traditional healer based?
Or the first one?
Yes.
Oh, yes. He's from Fitzberg.
Fitzberg.
Yes,
Thank you.
Fitzberg. Fitzberg.
President, I know you said in terms of housekeeping rules, we would take an adjournment at 11. We passed 11. I'm not sure whether we would.
Okay. And for how long? I'm not putting pressure on you. And how long are you still going to be with your questioning of Judge Lekale?
I think I'd still be a while.
A long way to go.
President.
Okay. Judge Lekale, we propose to take the mid-morning adjournment at this stage. The time is 11:05.
Oh, yes.
So we can resume at 11:25.
25 past 11.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shall we adjourn? Judge Lekale, we are going to continue with your evidence. You may proceed there, Advocate Close.
Thank you, Chairperson. Judge Lekale, before we took the break, I was busy asking you questions about the traditional healers you consulted. You said that one was in Mpumalanga and the one was in Vicksburg. Am I correct?
I said one was Ramaisa, the other one was Matakala,
No, I'm talking of the areas
the area.
where they were based.
Oh, yes.
So the Vicksburg one is that in the Free State.
Yes.
So besides the traditional healer in Mpumalanga and the Free State, were there any other traditional healers you consulted?
Yes, I just remembered that I also consulted the other one in the state again.
Sorry, I'm unable to hear you. Could you please repeat
Yes,
it?
I said it was in Free State again. But she has now passed on. She's passed away.
So in total, there were three,
Yes,
two in the Free State, of which one has passed away, and the other one in Mpumalanga.
yes,
Are those the three traditional healers you consulted?
yes.
Now, in your affidavit,
Sorry to interrupt you, Advocate, but I see that in terms of paragraph 5 of your affidavit, you mentioned therein that at some stage you decided, and I'm quoting from your affidavit, you decided to seek alternative treatment by consulting a traditional healer from outside the country. Did that actually happen eventually?
Yes,
And who was that traditional healer and in which country is he or she based?
the traditional healer in question was one Mr. Ramawela. He was based in Lesotho. Mr. Ramawela in Lesotho.
Mrs., you said?
I said Mr.
Oh, Miss.
Ramawela.
Thank you, I've got it. Thank you. You may proceed, Advocate, please.
thank you, President. And during which periods did you consult these four traditional healers?
It was from 2020 to 2025.
So 2025 was the last time you consulted with a traditional healer.
Yes,
Judge Lekale, I just want to confirm that you did not provide Judge President Musi or the Judicial Service Commission or this tribunal with any written report or certificate or any supporting documentation from a traditional healing. I just want to confirm you haven't submitted any documentation to that effect. Am I
No,
correct?
yes, indeed, I did not submit any.
Judge Lekale, I also want to ask you, do you accept that your subjective belief about the possible consequences from the ancestors is not supported by medical evidence, the medical evidence before this tribunal?
Yes, no, it is not submitted, it's not supported.
Then I also want to ask you about paragraph 18.1 of your response to the complaint of Judge President Musi. It's found on page 49 of the bundle. It's basically about you asking a colleague to approach or to me a school for the blind and deaf about the possibility of learning Braille, but that you concluded that Braille would not assist you because of your advanced age. Now, with this in mind, do you accept that Braille is not an option for you and you will never be able to read documents?
Yes, I accept that.
Do you also accept that your continuing inability to perform duties of a judge while remaining in judicial office cannot remain in limbo indefinitely? Do you accept that?
Yes, I accept that.
Judge Lekale, as a judge, do you accept that as a judge you retain a responsibility to act in a manner compatible with the status and obligation of judicial office?
Yes,
And I also want to ask you, do you accept that by continuing to submit medical certificates without any resumption of duty date that materialized and without applying for medical grounds, the judiciary was left in a position where acting judges had to be appointed for the long period in which you were absent or you are absent?
yes, I agree.
Judge Lekale, do you confirm that you continue to receive remuneration and all your benefits while not performing judicial duties? You're still receiving your remuneration and benefits. Am I correct?
Yes,
Judge President Musi also testified that about the pressure on the division and its planning and the allocation of judicial resources and the fact that an acting judge or acting judges have to be appointed in your place, you accept that, am I correct? And they also need to be paid.
Yes, I agree.
And this results in an additional burden on the public purse.
Yes.
Do you also agree with me, Judge, objectively viewed through the eyes of a reasonable person, that a judge who cannot serve for an extended period of 8 years, appropriate steps should be taken to resolve the position? Do you agree with me?
Yes, I agree.
Objectively viewed through the eyes of a reasonable person, that a judge who cannot serve for an extended period of 8 years, that appropriate steps should be taken to resolve the position. And the respondent answered yes, he agrees. Judge Kumar. Then you also accept that that leaving your position unresolved for 8 years is actually prejudicial to the effective and expeditious administration and function of the court. By you not being there for 8 years, it's prejudicial to the effective and expeditious administration or the functioning of the court.
Yes, I agree.
Now, Judge, I just basically want to ask you ask you to comment on the testimony of Judge President Musi when he testified yesterday about your car allowance and the related expenses. You confirm that despite you being on medically unfit since June 2018, in the year 2024, the state-funded vehicle allocated to you traveled 30,954 kilometers. You heard that testimony. You don't dispute that, am I correct?
I do not dispute that.
And that it resulted in an additional amount of a little bit more than 577,000 being paid from public funds in respect of your vehicle for the 2024 period.
Yes,
And Judge Lekale, you do accept that those costs were incurred while you did not perform any judicial function and were medically booked off.
yes, I agree.
And despite the fact that you didn't perform any judicial functions, you were still a sitting judge or a judge in active service.
Yes,
Thank you.
Judge Lekale, as a judge, you are bound by you accept that you do not dispute that you're bound by the Code of Judicial Conduct and applicable norms and standards of the judicial officers.
Yes.
Judge Lekale, do you accept that on the medical records before the tribunal, you are or you were since June, 6th of June 2018, and you are presently unable to perform the duties and functions of a judge?
Yes, I agree.
And do you accept that this inability amounts to an incapacity to perform the duties and functions of judicial office?
Yes, I agree.
Tribunal President and members of the Tribunal, I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Advocate Rose. Judge Lekale, in paragraph 18.2 of your answering affidavit, you state that it is not correct that you refuse to apply to be discharged on account of your medical condition. In other words, to be medically boarded, and that you are still, you want to serve as a judge of the Free State High Court because you are confronted with the advice of the traditional healers who told you in no uncertain terms that if you resign or apply to be medical boarded, then you will lose your sight permanently and never regain it as they had indicated to you. Do you still persist in that stance?
Yes, I do.
And the suggestion is made in the same paragraph that the reason why you adopted that stance is because you want to avoid at all costs a situation where you would then never regain your sight.
Yes.
Thank you.
know that your absence has a negative impact on the function. You testified that you know that your absence has had a negative impact on the function of the court.
Yes,
Did you realize that at the time when you started not, when your medical incapacity started in June 2018?
yes, I realized that then.
But in spite of your realization, you persisted in refusing to be medically boarded.
The circumstances were such that had I opted otherwise, I would have lost basically because the situation was that if I do that, I would lose my sight permanently.
Thank you.
Judge Lekale, you had Judge President Musi yesterday testifying that what the traditional doctors informed, traditional healers told you is irreconcilable with what is reflected in the medical certificates that have been furnished by various medical specialists. You remember that?
I remember that.
Yes. Now let's focus on what these medical specialists informed you. Did they inform you about the effect of this diabetes mellitus that you were diagnosed with?
They did not give me a lecture on that, they did not.
But did they at any stage, especially this Dr. Makala, the ophthalmologist, did he not explain to you what proliferative diabetic retinopathy is?
No, indeed, no.
So he did not tell you that that's blindness.
No, they did not explain it further than explaining that in medical terms.
So you did not ask him what was the cause of this proliferative diabetic retinopathy or PDR as reflected in the different medical certificates that he furnished.
I did ask, but they did not explain it any further than what they would explain it.
When you asked, what did he say?
Pardon?
When you asked, what did he say? What was his response?
His response was that it's medically defined as such.
Medical defined as?
As such,
He did not expatiate or go further to explain.
yeah, no, he did not go any further.
Thank you, Judge Lekale.
Does that then conclude your evidence, Judge Lekale?
Indeed, it does. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do you have any witnesses that you wish to be called to
No,
testify on your behalf?
no, thank you, no.
Thank you. What next? Advocate Blows and Judge Lekale, having concluded the presentation of oral evidence before the tribunal, I want to share with you what we propose as a way forward, having got to this stage. First of all, speaking for myself, I'll need a transcript, and I would also require the evidence leader to file a written, short, and concise heads of argument, and a Judge Lekale as well. So what we need to determine now are the timeframes. And as the evidence leader, you'll have to file your heads of argument first, and then we must allow Judge Lekale a certain number of days to file his, and once that has happened, then we can determine a date on which, if both sides so desire, to present oral argument. And whilst perhaps you are pondering that, we could take a short adjournment and once you are ready, we can resume and, dispose of the matter for the day. Judge Lekale, are we still together?
Yes,
In
I'm
regard
still-
to the future and further conduct of the proceedings.
yes, indeed.
Yes.
Together.
So I propose to take a short adjournment at this stage, and then they will assist you during the short adjournment to move from the witness stand back to where you have been since yesterday morning. And yeah, you'll send for us when you are ready, and perhaps you can prepare a draft ruling, so to speak, that we can have a look at, and then adopt either with or without amendments along the lines of what I've proposed to you.
I shall do so, Tribunal President.
Thank you. So,
you.
so we'll take a short adjournment. How long it will be will depend entirely on you. And of course, during that process, you'll have to confer with, Judge Lekale, inform him when you'll be able to provide him with your heads of argument and how many days he would need to respond to your heads. And those time frames, you must be mindful of the fact that time is of essence, according to the dictates of the Act. Just bear with me for a moment. Okay, and as I intimated earlier, you should also give us some indication as to whether, after you have filed your respective heads of argument, you would need an opportunity to present oral argument. And possible then we can decide now, determine a date on which that can be done. Thank you. We'll adjourn for a short while. We have now reached the conclusion of the presentation of evidence in this matter. It remains for us as a tribunal to express our sincere gratitude to everyone involved in ensuring that the business of the tribunal runs smoothly, especially the staff from the Judicial Service Commission Secretariat. Thank you very much for your invaluable service. Then, by agreement between the parties, complainant represented by the evidence leader, Advocate Blows, and Judge Lekale, this matter is at this stage adjourned sine die. 2, the evidence leader is directed to file heads of argument by not later than the 14th of August, 2026. Judge Lekale is likewise directed to file his heads of argument by the 21st of August, 2026. 4, the evidence leader may, if she deems it necessary, file a reply by the 28th of August, 2026. That is the ruling. And for the benefit of the media, I can indicate that once the parties have filed their heads of argument, the members of the tribunal will consider those heads in the light of the evidence that has been produced, as well as the affidavits that were provided by the parties, and thereafter make a determination as required in terms of the terms of reference that established the tribunal. So at this stage, the matter will be adjourned sine die, and the media would then be advised in due course when the tribunal is ready to hand down its final ruling. Thank you.
Thank you, Tribunal President. So noted.
Shall we then adjourn?